Hello and welcome back to Pentiment. Things have started to heat up. We have just got a note which told us to stop. The note was written in the same handwriting as the notes Andreas found. We have also found evidence that somebody is living in the Abbey and that somebody likes to paint. Now, that could mean that that somebody is Andreas, because the paintings, let's be honest, looked like somebody was having a mental breakdown, and Andreas, let's be honest, was having a little bit of a mental breakdown. So, on one side, you have potential painter living in the Abbey. On the other side, you have potential note maker. Now, is the note maker Andreas? It could be. Now, that would involve a little bit of cheating by the game. It would involve the game hiding bits of Andreas's life from us. Is it possible that that could happen? Yes, but it's unlikely that that's actually what's happening here. What I think we've got is we've got a situation of two people. We've got one person in the Abbey. That person, I suspect, is from the fire, and I suspect it's Andreas, but it could be somebody else who didn't die in the fire, who people assumed died in the fire. And the reason I'm saying that is because there's been a lot of talk of ghosts, right? Ghosts invoke a feeling of coming back from the dead. So, if that's what we're going for, I'm saying that somebody came back from the dead and was living in the Abbey. Now, it could be the mysterious ghost we saw during Act 1, but we suspect that that ghost was probably one of the nuns, maybe Sister Zedena. We also haven't heard anything about Sister Zedena. She could be the person who is in the Abbey. Unlikely, but she could be. We also have not heard anything about the notes. We have no idea who's writing the notes. We think it cannot be Andreas, because if it was Andreas would know, and we'd know because we were playing Andreas. So it could still be another figure, or it can be the same figure that's in the Abbey if the figure in the Abbey is not Andreas. I don't know. It's becoming a whole web of things. I'm going to go to sleep, and I bet like a month is going to pass or something. So let's go to bed. Go to sleep. Anyway, we have a ton of different plot threads that we previously didn't have before this mural. Now, if none of them turn out to be true, that's fine. But, in my head, the story's coming together. It's the 4th of December. Mistress Drukerin, only one letter for you today. Is it from Esther or is it from the Archdeacon? That's the question. I think it's from the Archdeacon, because it would have taken too long for it to get to Prague and back. The pass is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse and me. Anyway, happy Advent, my dear. Thank you. The same to you. Ah, a reply from Jacob Estler. Mistress Drukerin, I do recall the Rothvogel case, though it has been over a decade since I have served as an archdeacon. I am no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I am no longer associated with the Catholic Church. If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. I investigated several murders as an archdeacon, but none had the curious spectre of the conspiracy that haunted Baron Rothvogel's. After the peasants burned Kiersau, I read a report suggesting that a conspiracy was behind the murder of the town carpenter as well. It was around this time that I did some research of my own into the death of Father Gernot's predecessor, Father Matthias. While no one suspected foul play at the time, I had reason to believe that his death may be connected to the two other murders. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lie there still. What causes this serpent to awake every few years to stage a new killing? I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. I hope this has been of some help to you. May God bless and keep you safe. Jacob Estler. Okay. No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed due to the heavy snow. The postman said I won't receive any more letters until spring. I'd better get back to the rat house then. Still more work to be done. The 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Ah, we're going so fast. It is now the 24th of December, which is a mighty coincidence because it is also the 24th of December when this video is going out, which, if I had planned it, would have been very cool. However, I didn't. So, anyway. Good morning, Dad. I finally caught up on the mural, and now I can start the final part today. I promise I'll get it done. Magdalene, I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry Dr. Stoltz said you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the Perchtenlauf. A Germanic folk ritual celebrated around Christmas time in which townsfolk dress as Perchten and drive evil spirits from the town to protect it in the coming new year. Ah, there's always next year. Right. How are you feeling? Dr. Stoltz said he would come by again today. Fine, fine. I'm fine. Are you sure? Do you need anything? No, go on. I'm alright. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve, after all. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like a note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said, stop. Do you know where they came from? Who wrote them? Magdalene I. Oh God, that must be Otts. He said he'd drop by with more firewood. If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know, I will. Can we talk about it later? Wait a second. Is Klaus the person who wrote the notes? That could line up. Klaus could be the person who wrote the notes. It doesn't explain how Klaus got injured. But he could be the person who wrote the notes. Huh. Let's just go, Dad. I'll tell you, I promise. Alright, I'm just like, how could he know who wrote the notes? Like, why would he keep it a secret unless he wrote the notes? My mind has gone into full-on conspiracy mode, and none of this is going to be right. I'll be back later. Good, take care of yourself out there. Unless he's just going to tell us that the notes were ones that Andreas found, in which case, like, who knows? Did I hear that Otts was going to be here? Nope, maybe he's outside. Alright. Morning, Magdalene. He's calling us Magdalene now, proper. Morning, Otts. Cold out, isn't it? Freezing. Makes me envy Nico, able to stay inside all day. Even Andreas has his forge to keep him warm. Anyway, here I brought some firewood for you and your dad. I could have managed. Better not to, though. Huh. So, how's your dad? You think he can join everyone for Christmas Mass? I think he'll stay in bed tonight. I'll do my best to be there. I need to keep working on the mural, though. I'm working on the final section. About the peasants' revolt, right? It feels weird to talk about. It affected Tassing so much, but we were just kids. I can't remember what happened since I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad. That's what makes it difficult. I need to ask those who were already adults that night, but I don't want to touch raw nerves. What if you spoke to people while everyone was preparing for the Christmas festivities? Lara sometimes talks about that night. Mom, too. You might be able to ask them. Wojslav and Matilda are the only two Benedictines left in Tassing. Maybe they'll talk to me. Oh, didn't think of that. Still, the mural is for Tassing, not the old abbey. Agnes has always been in Tassing, right? I'd go to her if I were you. Dad said she helped bury everyone who died that night. I wonder if she'd talk about it. She helped bury everyone who died that night? Does she have a list? It's your project, Magdalene. Might be worth a try. I wrote to the old archdeacon about it too. He thinks the Baron's murder and Otto's death are connected to the revolt. The who? The man who came to Tassing for Baron Rothvogel's murder. What about him? He was the judge for the Baron's murder. What if all the deaths in Tassing are connected? I don't see how that old Baron has anything to do with the revolt. Are you feeling alright? I think you're looking for connections that aren't there. Maybe this mural project is getting to you. Is that it? That sounds like it's the devs talking to the player. Like, there's not really a connection. You wouldn't think there's a connection, would you? Maybe you're right. I just can't shake the feeling that someone is following me. I want to say this one specifically. This one is better. Like, this one is the one that fits more with what I want to... Like, this is more how I'm feeling. I want to tell him that somebody is following me. Because we might get a remembering, and at some point, he might save us. That's what I'm hoping for. You're acting weird. I'll figure it out somehow. Thanks for the wood. See you later, Mags. Ugh. Otz is right. I should start talking to people around town. Better get started if I want to talk to everyone before the Perchtenlauf. Okay. Map. Midwife. Golden Hand Inn. Gertner Farm. It says there's something at Kiersau Abbey, but I don't see it. Alright, well, we're starting with the Abbey then. We also need to go to the forest, potentially. We're really just doing another run around town, see what people are saying. But I'm going to start at the Abbey. Because it says the Abbey has something to do, but doesn't have anything listed there. That's intriguing to me. So that might mean that there's something for us to do at the Abbey that we don't know about. Or it means that the game didn't update the little red star. One or the other. The Abbey is locked. It's too snowed in. I won't be able to visit the poor Clares for a while. Okay. Well, that was it then. There's literally nothing at the Abbey. Okay. But there is another way into the Abbey. The forest always looks so bare in winter. No one comes out here this time of year. There's no way into their area at the back. Hello, Magdalene? Hello again, Magdalene. Are you getting ready for the Christmas celebrations? Of course, along with everyone else. Actually, you know what? Not really. I have other things I'm trying to take care of. You're quite a busy young woman. Smokey told me your father was injured. How is he? I don't know, Vaxlav. It's not doing well. I'm sorry. I will hope for the best. Well, I don't want to keep you from your tasks. Vaxlav, do you want to come to the Christmas feast? Ah, kind of you to offer. My beliefs and well, how I look. It's best if I stay out here. I'll be fine, but thank you. I'll see you later then. Merry Christmas, Vaxlav. Merry Christmas. Okay, the Shrine of Saint Satiel. Anything at the Shrine of Saint Satiel? Nope. Okay. Time to leave. head this way. It's got this level of tension around things. Let's have a look at the waterfall. Waterfall is always so beautiful. We're lucky, even during the winter, it never fully freezes over. Okay, and we can't go to the old salt mine. On the positive side, the snow is stopping us from going to all these places that have absolutely no purpose whatsoever. But yeah, it feels like there's tension. They drop just enough story on us to make me go, huh? Like, maybe? But, yeah, it might all be nothing. Might all be in my head. Oh, this is busy. Hey, Paul. Hey, Anna. Hey, Else. Hey, Ulrich. Hey, Andreas. Bye, everybody. Okay. I'm starting to get the feeling as well that the game is... It's just lowering the number of people you need to speak to as you go through investigations. It's like, no, you've spoken to them. You know what's going on with them. If they don't have anything specific about what you're doing right now, we're going to give them less dialogue. Hello, Alexander. I guess they are staying here. Well, if it isn't Magdalene. You're learning everyone's names during your stay. Alas, it appears the good people of Tassing are the only audience I will have until the pass is clear. It seems only right that I attempt to put myself on friendly terms with you and your neighbours. How are you finding Tassing? Everyone has been quite kind and no one has thrown anything at me for my music. Considering the circumstances, I'm counting that as a success. I have to admit I was quite upset that I had missed my opportunity to sing at the Meister Singer competition. Members of the Guild for Lyric Poets, composers and singers of the unaccompanied art songs. Meister Singers perform in regular competitions often held at a rat house or church. Oh, he's writing. He practiced so much for it. Yes, it's hard not to view the last year as a waste. You can try again next Christmas, can't you? Of course. Though the older I get, the less comfort I take in the possibilities of the future. Missed opportunities sting more with each passing year. Well, you have an audience here, the people of Tassing. And perform for them I will. I love performing for people wherever I go. When I sing for people, I want to move them. I want to see it on their faces. It's only in that moment I can connect with them. It's the only truth I know. Meister Singer judges will rate me as they will, but that's not why I want to perform for them. I want to move the masters the way they moved me. Does that make sense? Well, I suppose I make art for my own satisfaction. But certainly if travelers didn't enjoy the art your father prints, they wouldn't buy it. I suppose that's true. Consciously or unconsciously, we're all shaped by those who came before and those who surround us. I'm sorry, I just feel a bit melancholy, I suppose. Well, cheer up, Christmas is here. Of course, in our darkest hours, the birth of our Saviour reminds us that dawn will follow. Perhaps the Christmas feast will lift my spirits. Will I see you there? Absolutely, almost everyone in town should be there. And I look forward to it. Until then. Hello? Hello, Magdalene. Hello again, Casimiris. How have your performances gone? Well, people like our music. Are you looking forward to the Christmas feast? Yes. Oh, this is a long message. Alexander is upset about missing the competition, but it will be nice to perform for a large crowd. I look forward to hearing you. Okay. Upstairs we go. Hello? Hi. Good morning, Magdalene. Okay. Who have we got? Hans? Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. Ugh. Did you need something? I just wanted to see what you were doing. Well, I was just about to leave. I have to go meet Big Jorg soon. Why? Stuff in the forest needs doing. Like what? To lift logs. Why would you do that? We lift big logs to see who's stronger. It's a contest. Does anyone else participate in this contest? Not usually. There aren't many others in Tassing strong enough, other than Big Jorg. Simon's big, like Setpaws, but he's not interested. He's always busy taking care of the farm. Maybe Apollo can join us one day. He's been getting stout the last few years. Alright, who's winning so far? Jorg, but barely. I've been gaining on him. He's growing older and softer with his council work. Ha ha ha. So is this just a thing men do from time... men just do from time to time? Me and Jorg, sure. I don't know about anyone else. You're welcome to join us, Magdalene. You happen to have small logs that would suit me? Plenty of trees in the forest. We'll find you what you need. Maybe put some meat on those bones. Oh, I feel really bad. So I can look like you? No. I mean, what's so bad about that? It's meant that the press is heavy and that you're pretty scrawny. Ugh. I should get back to work. Until later, Magdalene. Until then, we were having such a nice conversation. And Magdalene had to go ruin it with her barb. Hello, Wojslav. Oh, God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Wojslav. I have an odd question for you. Oh? When I was exploring the Abbey for the mural background, I stumbled upon some stray cats. Were there a lot of cats during your time? Haha, yes, as a matter of fact, there were. There were always cats around the Abbey, but one summer they started begging for food. Persistent little creatures. Brother Lucas swears he never fed them, but I have my doubts. Oh, is it just Brother Lucas who's staying in the Abbey? I mean, that would be fine, but, you know, like... I was hoping for something more. Well, they seem to have made the Abbey their home now. Ah, good for them. At least someone is making use of that old structure. Thank you for telling me, Magdalene. Be well, Wojslav. God bless you and your father, Magdalene. That's it? Okay then. Yuta? Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Magdalene. How's the weather? We've been prepping for the feast in here all day. Too damn cold. It's like this winter will never end. Spring always returns in time, but come, stay a while, Magdalene. At least we're in here where we can keep our fingers warm. You'd better keep your fingers out of my dough, Master Bauer. I didn't do anything. You've snuck your little fingers into my cookie dough 3 times today. Do it again and I'll wrap your knuckles with the back of my spoon. Don't anger Mistress Matilda, Simon. Yes, sir. Sorry, Mistress Matilda. We need enough dough to make cookies for the entire town. You can't be eating it all. Anyway, what did you come in for, Magdalene? I was hoping you could tell me what you remember of the revolt. I was too young to remember much of it. No one ever seems to talk about it, and Mistress Matilda and Master Wojslav, you were the only ones left who used to live in the Abbey. The only ones who stayed, anyway. Matilda and I had been friendly enough with the people in town. We put it behind us in time. You can imagine the other brothers had little reason to remain. Old Adok made it out. Hey, fantastic. I think Father Gertnot paid for him to go back to an abbey in Cornwall. I'm not sure what happened to the others, all gone in any case. But the whole thing is a sensitive subject, Magdalene. Why are you asking? I want to portray the event truthfully in the mural, so I'm trying to hear everyone's account of the events. For the sake of seeing it portrayed right, I'll tell you what I remember. Wait, Magdalene, here. Come cut out cookies with me first. That way we don't fall behind while we chat. We'd be grateful for the help. Alright, Magdalene, cut out cookies from the dough and set them aside so Simon can put them on a tray. We'll need a good number in a variety of shapes, so don't hesitate to change which cutter you use. We'll have to have enough for the whole town after all. So we're going right into the corner and press, rotate, and release. What? Press? Oh, I need to press. Oh, right, that's fine. Cut. Press. Cut. Oh, it's too close to the edge. There we go. Then we're going to do the next one almost actually touching. I think we can maybe get 5 in each row. There we go. Oh, can't fit it in there, but maybe I can fit something else in there, like this one. Just about. It's so close. No, okay, so it's not letting us do that. That's fine. How about this one? Can I do a bird in the corner? Yeah, okay, okay. Let's do some hearts in here. So we're doing hearts in the gaps. There we go. Optimizing. That's what we're doing here. And then right in there. Then again. Okay, nothing in there. So then can I do a bird at the side here? I can. Perfect. Right. So then we're going to do this one in here. I'm just wondering if I do it like that. That looks good, right? That looks pretty good. Then I want to rotate it slightly. That wasn't quite what I meant to do, but that actually works really well. Rotate it. I wonder if we can fit another one in there. Okay, so something like that. So we've done 5 of those, 3 of those, 4, and then 2. Thinking at the edge here, it has to be something like this. Oh no, no, I've wasted the edge here. Undo. I want to undo my cookie cutting. Suboptimal cookie cutting. Figuring out where I want things to go here. That's a fairly flat line. So we could maybe do the exact opposite of the bottom row. To do something like this. Then this. Okay, so do that. Then we're going to put this one in. Like that. Okay. It's not too bad. And then we're looking for hearts maybe to finish it off. I'm thinking, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I do something, I can put a bird in the left side there. Let's put the bird in first, because that's actually a more awkward shape right now. with the flat side of the bird in. No, it has to be like this. Oh no, that's not good at all. In there. Then like that. Like that. Okay. Then in there. So that gives us 6 hearts. 5 birds. 6 of those. Let's go for... there's gotta be an angle where that works. I made it too narrow in the middle. Okay, so something like that. And then there's this one in here. Again, there's gotta be an angle where it works. Again, I've made it slightly too narrow. There. There's got to be an angle where this works. It's too much wasted space. Alright, let's try this one. Oh, no, that's horrible. If that doesn't work, there's way too much wasted space in there. Yeah, there's gotta... like that one's messed us up. But there's gotta be a way to get... there's gotta be a pixel where this works, right? That looks good. It's about perfect. Okay. Well, in that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go for 6 of each, but 8 of the circles. Let's go with that. That's a fairly okay number, right? Yeah, like that. Tell me there isn't room there? There we go. And I think that's where we have to call it. Are you done? These look wonderful, thank you. So we ended up with 26. There's gotta be a way of getting more than 26, but 26 I think is okay. Now let me just test. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know we could do 4. I reckon we could do 4 lots of 4. 16 plus 4 at the end. So we're at 20. So I'm 6 above, like, just putting circles on there. You could obviously get more with squares. With squares, you could end up with, like... I think you could do 5 or 6... let's say 6 squares across. So you could do a 6 by 6. Maybe even a 6 by 7. So you could maybe end up with more squares, but then you have no variety. I have no idea why I'm invested. You can make more if you want, but it looks like we have enough. Oh, let me... no, that's good enough for now. Thanks for helping, Magdalene. That's for the people who are like, I can do it better next time. I know I can. Just let me have another shot. Let me try it again. We'd better keep going if we're going to have everything ready by the procession tonight. So what can we tell you, Mags? I heard the Lance Knights came into town before they revolt and warned everyone to leave the Abbey alone. Could things really have been talked out, or was it too late by then? There were some people who wanted to talk. Master Maler worked hard to keep the peace, but after Otto was killed... Oh, Andreas. A shame how he died. We at the monastery were fond of him. Dad said he was instrumental in keeping the revolt from getting out of hand. He regrets not standing by him. Yes, he was. He had a personal dinner with the abbot to try and discuss things, I believe. A pity they couldn't come to an agreement. Yes, Andreas did a lot of good for Tassing and Kiersau too. Even if the old abbot failed to admit that. He even revealed corruption in our own midst. The old prior, Phorenik, had been doing witchcraft in the church. I still grieve that he died in the abbey fire. I know your father does too, Magdalene. But wasn't the revolt in general justified? Yes, I think so. We couldn't even collect in the forest without a fee. Dad kept saying we couldn't live with higher and higher taxes. The night Otto died, the abbot was trying to excommunicate everyone for celebrating St. John's Eve. A lot of people thought the abbot killed him in revenge. Turns out it was Brother Guy who was embezzling funds from the abbey. Still, after Otto and Ulrich, that was too much. We burned the mill, with both bastards inside. The abbot promised to help if Andreas found the person who killed Otto. All we wanted was to talk. Well, you mean no one was supposed to burn the abbey down? Why would anyone want that? We sought justice, not murder. It was too much for Peter. Lenthart was one thing. He just killed Ulrich, but to burn the abbey. But when the Landsknecht saw the fire, they thought they had another revolt on their hands. Even Father Gernot couldn't stop them. We all fled. Brother Florian saved as many as he could, but... Peter was wrong to burn the abbey, but what the soldiers did, that was awful. I thought that knights were supposed to protect people, like in Parsifal. Rarely does real life match the heroism of stories, Magdalene. Dad tried, protected me, stabbed in the chest. I don't even remember what he was wearing, but I remember how dark the blood was when we found him. Almost black and sticky like treacle. Dad socked one of the soldiers in the face, but another was right there and... Magdalene, can we stop talking about this? Yes, thank you for talking with me. I'll do my best on the mural. Good luck. We'll see you at the procession later. Until then. Oh, that used time? I didn't know I was time limited. Oh no. Well, that's awkward. But it could be one of these things where you have to do all the things. Yeah, we still got some available. So it's probably one of these ones where you have to just do everything on the list. And once you do everything on the list, time will have moved forward the same amount. That's probably going to be it. Amelie is not here. Father Thomas is not here. Well, that's definitely a sign that we should just go. Okay. Martin Bauer Farm. Well, we know he's not here. Well, we know that's... well, we actually know the Hans Bauer Farm isn't here. Martin Bauer could be here, but he's not. But, like, he could be. Yeah, so that's all closed off. Let's go to the Hans Bauer Farm, and we know where they all are. They're all helping set up for Christmas. That's fine. The Gertner Farm. Let's go have a little chat. I just want to check the left side of the screen before we go in. Okay. Gertner Farm. Big Jorg. Oh, Magdalene. Gret. Bless you, Magdalene. Clara. Hello, Magdalene. I would have thought you'd be working on a mural today. What brings you here? I'd like to sit with you and ask how you remember the rebellion so I can paint it, if that's alright. Ah, that was a sad time. If it will help you memorialize those we lost in the revolt, yes, I'll answer a few questions. I don't mind. I was a little older than you, so I probably remember more, Magdalene. Of course, Magdalene. We'll tell you all you want to know. I've been looking forward to seeing the mural for some months. Come now, sit with us. Ah, so we're at the sewing circle we never went to with Andreas. Now that you're all settled, what did you want to know? Did the revolt have anything to do with the other murder that happened in Tassing? Oh, the murder of the Baron, you mean? No, not really. I only remember that Andreas attempted to be a peacekeeper in both situations. I suppose that's when things started going poorly. Yes, after Prior Ferenc was discovered as a witch, people weren't as willing to trust the abbey anymore. Then the abbot became more severe. He didn't like that the prior's death rattled his control of Tassing. I still think the old prior cursed the town. That's when the crops started failing. You see, this is one of the choices I think could have made a big impact, right? You could argue that all the tiny choices don't really matter in the story, and they only matter for the individual characters, right? But I think the murder choices, you could definitely set a game around having specific murder choices matter. And I think that having Pharenic die definitely was a major choice that would matter in a way. Just as I think, like, let's take a random other person, right? Let's say that we said that it was Lucky who died, right? Lucky was the stonemason of the town. If you kill him early, Kraft, who is currently around at this time, he wouldn't have learned stonemasonry from, his grandfather, right? That just wouldn't have happened. So it changes the course of things. It might mean that we have more building issues. Maybe that's how it leads into some of the other stuff that's going on. Maybe that's where some of the conflict comes from. Yeah, something I think it's always going to be that there's going to be like a set murders in set places. It's probably going to be similar suspects in the similar murders, but it's how you come at it, I think, could change quite a lot of how you progress, right? Like, for instance, if you didn't, if you followed Father Gurtnot's rules and you accuse somebody in town of doing the thing, I think that Father Gurtnot wouldn't hate you as much in the second act. And that would change how things play out there. So it's just interesting little differences. You can kind of see where things are fitting together. Anyway. Oh, I don't know about any of that, but his taxes and restrictions and his attitude towards us became harsher after that. It was all we could do to live by them, but it eventually became too much. Even with all the restrictions, was the revolt really justified? I keep hearing conflicting stories about how it began. I know things were bad for the peasants, but was it worth all the loss? You wouldn't remember it, Magdalene, but the abbot forced us to starvation. We would have died either way. We did everything we could to keep the things from getting violent, but the Lord had other plans. I remember how sick and hungry I was all the time. Grandpa kept saying it hadn't always been like that. All was fine until one of the brothers killed Otto in retaliation for finding out just how corrupt the abbey was. Well, my husband wouldn't let that rest. We all wanted justice. And when that soldier arrived and threatened us, all the townsfolk pulled away except for you and Ulrich, Gret. No, Clara, I'm afraid even I was intimidated, and begged Ulrich to leave the matter be. And my husband stood alone with the peasants. Well, Dad always talks about how he regrets that choice. That's why he wanted to paint the mural. Your father is unique in that regard. Most of the other townsfolk see the revolt's failure as proof that it was doomed from the start. Truly, if the entire town banded together, we likely could have succeeded without violence at all. By then, we were just so starved and wanted justice so much, Peter truly thought success was possible. There was still some discussion. Ulrich and Andreas wanted peace. Then that fucking Miller protected that tonsured bastard. He always hated us, thought he was better than us. Ursula, language. What, Mom? It's true. Lenthart even shot Ulrich out of nowhere. People don't just shoot one another without cause. Well, most of the men had surrounded the mill and demanded Lenthart give up the accused, but he wouldn't have it. I think the Miller shot Ulrich to retaliate, but after that Peter couldn't be stopped. We'd lost too much. And the burning of the abbey was a grim night, and the soldiers coming in. Our men fought to protect us, to protect Tassing, and many died in that fight. But at least we got rid of the abbot and the monks, at least. Yes, that is some comfort, if only a little. Are there any hearings of Tassing I should memorialize? Dad, definitely. Peter always wanted the best for Tassing, even if he acted rashly by setting fire to the abbey. Maybe you can portray him in the best light, Magdalene. I'd rather not talk about that night anymore. I hope we provided enough insight for your work. You did, thank you. I'll let you get back to work. Thank you, Magdalene. I'm certain the mural will be beautiful. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, there's absolutely no way I'm painting the person who set the abbey on fire in the mural. Are you crazy? Do you want me to be executed? Anyway, time to leave here. And I guess we gotta hope that the last person that we speak to's got some, better stuff to tell us. That'd be Agnes. Okay, so Andreas' house is shut. This house. The Kreutzer house is open. Okay. Hello. Hello, Magdalene. Hello. Magda. Hello, Magda. Eva has nothing to tell us? Okay. Sure. Thought she might have something to tell us about the night her, well, the night the revolt her husband started ended, but, you know. Guess not. Check the bakery. I don't think there's anyone in the bakery, but we'll check it. Okay. Now, we're not going to go to Agnes's house yet. We want to go to Northtown just to check in with Baltus and with Dr. Stoltz before we do that. But this is the last place we need to check. So he's not here. Interesting. He wasn't at the inn either. Eisenkopf house? I mean, he could be at the Drucker house, I suppose, at this point. Ah, if it isn't Mistress Magdalene. Hello, Baltus. Hello, Naziu. How are your inventions coming along, Baltus? Oh, very well, thank you. I was just showing Nazu how our Rathouse clock works on one of my smaller prototypes. It is a fascinating process, truly. I had never considered that one man could make something so complex by himself. The clock tower is the wonder of Tassing. Isn't it? I have not seen such a wonderful work of mechanical invention in such a small town. God has blessed you with Balthazar. I'm simply glad that Tassing appreciates my work after so long. You are too modest here in this simple alpine town. You really ought to come with me to Genoa. Oh no, I'm far too grounded here to manage that, Gnazu. Then I shall be forced to visit every year and settle your accounts, and while I do, remind you of your genius. How entirely dramatic. Forgive me, I am a dramatic man, Magdalene. In any case, shall we return to work, Balthus? Yeah, yes, of course. Please excuse us, Magdalene. We're rather busy at the moment. Until later, then. No. Okay, never mind. My hopes of having my Latin book translated. Gone. Dashed. It's just... It's awful. Right. If only we knew how to actually properly read Latin. Then we would know what it said. I forget whether that was an option for us. I think we might have the most Latin that we could have with Polyglot. Yeah, it can read a little bit of almost all of them. I guess maybe you could be like a pure Latin reader. I can't remember what our options were, though. Maybe that's how you read the book. Hello, everybody. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Brigitte. Hello, Agnes. Magdalene Druckerin, I didn't expect to see you today. How is your father? He's not well, honestly. Oh no, I'm so sorry. You'll be in her prayers tonight. Ours as well. Now then, is there something we can help you with, dear? I have a small favor to ask. Oh, go on then, spit it out. If it isn't too much trouble, I'd like you all to recount what you remember of the revolt. I'm nearly done with my mural, but I need more details. I was so young, I don't remember much of that night. Oh, for that project of yours in the rat house. Well, I'm afraid I won't have much good to say about the matter, but all right. Come, sit down, Magdalene. Don't worry about helping with the reefs. It took me years to get the technique up to Mum's expectations, so you're better off not helping. Ah, you always did fine, Brigitte. So, Magdalene, what do you need to know to finish the mural? I was hoping to ask you more about the revolt. All I can remember was the flames when the abbey burned. What part of the revolt? The abbot starving us out of the house and home? Otto's murder? I doubt that would be a good painting. It seemed like the abbot at Kiersau wasn't on very good terms with Tassing. Everyone but that fucking Miller hated him, with good reason. He only ever cared for how many things he could get from us. Brigitte, don't forget to twist the ends and can't have it looking like a Christmas hedgehog. I'm getting there, Mom. I've looked after Martin and Craft well enough, haven't I? I can manage this. Yes, well, after your father died, I've got no one left to nag besides you and that husband of yours. Thank God I have both of you. As a matter of fact, let an old woman have her vices. The Gertner house was a bit sad. York always gets quiet this time of year. But it's Christmas! Yes, it's Christmas, but the Gertners have struggled for a long time, even after Peter died. Tassing's lost a good number of folk over the year, and feast days and celebrations make it harder to bear. You mean the revolt, right? The revolt, the murders, that fool Andreas had to meddle in everything. Didn't do too much good if you ask me. Well, the way that she said that, I'm just like, wait a second. She's old. That was the first thing we were going to say to her and didn't say. She's been here the whole time. Could she be the person who writes the notes? That's why she's asking us to stop. Probably not. Andreas Maler, the artist? I thought he was my dad's friend. He was, and I can't fault your father for that. Master Maler was an interesting man. He'd already meddled enough in Tassing after the Baron's murder that he held more sway than he knew. I could understand it the first time. He wanted to save that old monk. I dare say he saw him as a father. I was proven the prior was a witch, so I suppose he did some good for Tassing then. I think Władysław might be the only person left in Tassing who even remembers the old prior. That's when the troubles started. I say, the townsfolk saw a monk killed and the abbot was incensed. Then came the revolt, and Andreas Maler happened to show up nearly the day of Otto's murder. I heard that night was a slaughter. Why didn't anyone stop the peasants? They were in a riot burning down the abbey. What more could anyone do? A shame it had to happen at all, I think. I knew the revolt was a bad idea from the start. Old Władysław would be the only one to know what happened inside the church, old church now, before the fire. Some like to say things were always this bad, that violence was the only way, but it wasn't. Life got worse over the years. It wasn't like this when I was a child, not at my grandparents' time either. Sure, the abbot was pinching the townsfolk and the peasants were suffering, but to go against the church... Like you said, things weren't always so bad. We fought to make things right. But things got better in the end, right? Even if so many people died? What kind of good comes from violence? I've never seen Peter so angry. That soldier even warned Peter, but nothing would stop him besides steel. So nothing got better at all? Well, as I see it, the Lord is just as severe as the abbot was and threatens force at every turn. That's life. You can struggle and die to accomplish something and nothing changes. The dead are luckier. They died believing they changed something. We're stuck with the harsh reality. This is all you've known, Magdalene. You've grown used to it. We all have. Thank you for sharing your story with me. It's important to share our suffering with the younger generations. Maybe they can change something. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Good luck, Magdalene. Oh yeah, we got some fantastic stories to tell. Yeah, I don't really think any of them are gonna go on the mural, though. Time to go to the commons for the Perchtenlauf. Oh really, is it? Is it time? I think it is time. Okay. Everything seems shut. I gotta say, Peter, he's into it. Everyone else is shivering and he's like, my time to clap. Christ, it's too damn cold. You shut your mouth, boy. We've done this festival every year and you won't die standing here for 5 minutes. Good, you made it, Magda. I was getting worried you would miss the procession. Wouldn't miss the Perchtenlauf for the world. The costumes are just too wonderful to miss, aren't they? I remember the mask scared me when I was little. Shh, it's starting. Oh, Artemis looks so lovely. I'd love to be the bridge saint one year, leading off all the demons into the woods. Oh, it was Martha saying it. Are these the poor Clares? I think they might be. Because is that one of the nuns at the front? Benedicta? Maybe. Okay. Well. Good. Good. Time to get inside. Oh, they're going round again. Oh, do I have to click a button? I do. Okay. That's the only type of boys that'll follow you, Artemis. Haha. Ah, okay. It was Artemis who said... Sorry, I was thinking Martha said it. Okay, so never mind. Forget what I said. So Martha said it. That's not Benedicta. These are people following her. Got it, got it. Everything's coming into place now. Apollo, stop that. Sorry, Mom. Christina, see the Perchten? Named after the Germanic goddess Perchta. Perchten are supernatural creatures similar to devils who follow Perchta in the wild hunt. So scary. I don't like it. Shh, Andreas, you're alright. They're only costumes. Big masks that our neighbours are wearing, remember? It's so cold. Magdalene, would you want to be the bright saint or one of the Perchten? I would want to be the bright saint. The crown is my favourite part. I wonder who the council will choose to be her next year. It doesn't seem fair Artemis gets to be the bright saint since her dad is on the town council. Ah, so Artemis is the person at the front, I see. Got it. You'll get your chance, don't worry. Okay, so Martha was the person who said it. Artemis replied from there. I see. Tassing's done the Perchtenlauf as long as I can remember. Everyone in town's been part of the procession before. Well, except for the young ones yet. I wish Dad could be here. You'll see next year surely, and you can go home and describe it all to him. As beautiful as ever. As goddamn long as ever. Well, at least we're gonna eat after this. Oh, hey, Mags. Magda. Whatever. Mags. You made it. I was worried for a minute you'd skip out on all the fun. Merry Christmas, Mags. You're such a lightweight, Otts. I'm not interested in someone who can't hold their liquor. Christ, lay off, Mags. It's Christmas. Besides, it's not my fault I'm not as large as Big York. The man's already had 3. Alexander and Kaz look like they're gonna play something too. Did you forget Casimiris' name, or are you giving everyone nicknames tonight? That's a secret, Mags. Come on, let's get some food. Just doing an ocular count of everybody who's here. It's going, alright, who have we got? Who's missing? Who's not here? And any obvious people not here? Can't see anyone extremely obvious not being here. Hey, everyone listen up. Jorg would like to speak.
Yes. Thank you, Veronica. On behalf of the town council, I wanted to thank everyone for coming tonight.
Listen intently.
This year has been tough on all of us. We've had more snowfall than anyone can remember, and the early frost gave us a small harvest. Folk haven't come through the passes often. Nico, you've been short of customers, and we've all missed the trade. Alexander and Casimiris, you've been kept from your journey. Nazio, and the snow has kept you from returning home. And I know we've all felt the lack of Klaus in town as he's been bedridden these past few months. And yet the Lord has blessed us with each other, cheerful guests and good company.
Cheers! Amen. Thanks to God. God bless.
Even though this season has been rough, God knows we have a lot to celebrate this Yuletide.
Yuletide, Christmas time, referring to the pagan celebration of Yule on the winter solstice. This term was Christianized to refer to Christmas time.
Andreas, you made tools we couldn't have gone without. Just practicing my trade. Dr. Stoltz, you've kept us all in good humours.
A proof of my experience, Jorg, in such cruel weather. I thought this was from the town council, not to it. No, I'll keep listening.
Magdalene, you painted a mural for us.
I only wish my father were here to celebrate his close completion with you all.
As do we all. Alexander and Kazimierz, you've spread good cheer in the early winter nights.
Our pleasure, truly.
And especially tonight, we should thank Baltus for making such wonderful beer for us all to enjoy.
Huzzah! Hooray for Baltus! God bless. Hear, hear. No, please. Nazu helped tremendously. It's thanks to him, really.
Ah, well, grazie. And thanks to our Lord, who is so generously provided for this feast.
Lord protect him. Yeah. Thanks to the man's deep pockets. Kazimierz and I shall play later in the evening, so please come to us with songs if you have one in mind.
Sing the Shepherd's Mistress.
Let's have a dance. Cheers.
Well, that's it, everyone.
If I may, Jorg, I'd like to bless this great feast our Lord has provided for us. Accent did not come in there.
Of course, Father.
Today we've come together to celebrate the birth of our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. Just as our Lord has provided for us with this meal, so too did Christ provide us with the bread of life. So please join with me in prayer. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Now please, everyone, I know Baltus made a fine beer, but remember that temperance is a virtue. Celebrate the Christ child as though his manger was here with us. Wasn't the whole point that there wasn't any room in the inns? He's really reaching this year, isn't he? Hehe.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Finally, let's eat. Okay, where is he running off to? You see him just run off the edge there? Alright, there we are, hiding in the back. Everything that needs to be done gets done at the inn. And I think this is where we're going to end the episode for today. Thank you very much for watching. And I kind of get the feeling like next episode could be the last episode of Pentiment. Thank you for watching. I'll see you then. Goodbye.